Let me share my screen and then we begin. Yeah, good evening. Please, I'd like to unmute everybody. Ashaya Kiyemi, please. Yeah. So now let us okie dokie and then kick off. Good evening and you're welcome to Dear Analyst. My name is Fanny Ayodeji Adedayo. I'm the Chief Data Analyst Future of Work Africa, and you're welcome to Dear Analyst. Dear Analyst is the all things webinar for big data, machine learning, AI. It's a career webinar where here we actually come and actually discuss different career issues, career-related issues that actually affect the lives of data analysts, data scientists, and machine learning engineers, and the likes. And one more time, you are welcome to Dear Analyst. So on Tuesdays, we run rules of engagement, where we actually discuss a whole lot of rules, principles that should actually guide your work as an analyst or a machine learning engineer and the likes. While on Thursdays, we run live labs where we actually come and learn the hard skills of data analytics and the like. So for now, on the live labs, we've actually been running a Python series before we then move to the next thing. So I want to say a very big welcome to you. Thanks so much for joining. You could always raise your hand in the comment section or type something in the comment section. I will unmute you while you can then ask your questions and then we can probably engage. So you're welcome to today's rules of engagement. We're actually talking about reporting. We've been talking about reporting for a while. When we started reporting, was it last week? Yes, last week Tuesday we started reporting. Before reporting, we're talking about telling stories with visuals. What type of visualization should you use? When should you use visualizations? The color to use and the likes you get. So today we continue our series on reporting. So introduction now. Making meaningful presentation to stakeholders. Stakeholders are not going to take time to translate your analysis. Now, whenever you do something as a data analyst or data scientist, it is always crucial and critical that you know that the people you are presenting to are not technical persons. They are not people who are technically savvy. So it will actually be best to present your work as simple as possible. So I always tend to urge data analysts, data scientists, or anybody on the food chain of data science to try as much as possible to present your analysis so it is very, very meaningful for stakeholders. They are not technical persons. They just need to see something to help them take a decision. They want you to help them solve a problem, not present them with analysis to understand the problem. That is very, very crucial. I think I just really need to just highlight that and then put it out there and say it again. They want you to help them solve a problem, not present them with analysis that understand the problem. And that is really, really something very, very big. So one of the very first things first in actually solving the problem for them is number one, outline the problem. You need to actually state what actually is the problem you're trying to solve. Most of the time it comes with a brief. They will tell you to do this and do that. It majorly comes with a brief, just like the question Paul asked some weeks ago. Secondly, give if needed. You actually need to actually give context. Give context, understand the context in which they're actually talking about. Actually helps us to make actually understand it better. Context could be the demographic where they live, their age range, and the likes. Then thirdly, list actionable steps that will make impacts to solve the problem. Yes, you then need to actually make actionable steps. Now, based on the data, we feel that if you do this, now these actionable steps we're talking about is what we talk about recommendations. You get recommendations, you get. Then the next one is list specific insights from the research. That should be from the research. List specific insights from research that will actually support your recommendations. You get. Now, there's a difference between insight and visualization, and that is one critical thing in which young analysts should actually know now. In e.g., you use visualization to drive the message of an insight. I'll take that again. You use data visualization to actually drive message of an insight. You get. E.g., you are trying to show population breakdown in different local governments in Lagos State. You get. Your visualization is what to actually help you drive the insights. You get, because you cannot just start explaining insights away. No, you need visuals to actually help drive the insight. Then second, review the next steps, timelines, and resources. Review the next steps, timelines, and resources. You get. Now, when you're outlining the problem, always try as much as possible to use simple language. The language should be kept simple, no big grammars or big everything. You get to the point quickly. Get to the point quickly. Organize the presentation for context and story. You get. You need to ensure that you organize the presentation for context and story. Then try not to fill your PPT. You get, because most of the time you actually have to submit this in a PowerPoint. You get. You also try to submit this in a PowerPoint. So you lift your PPT and ensure that it is not too texty. You get. It is not too texty. It is not so filled with text that they cannot even get to actually see breathing space. So this PPT is a very good example. It has got enough white space. You get enough white space to help communicate the message, and it is way clearly. Please, in case you have any question, you can raise your hand. Or if you're not raising your hand, please transfer us to use the comment section where we can get to majorly interact and then move forward. Please, in case you have any questions, I'm much more open to taking questions. Barakat, let me know. Try not to fill the PPT with much text. You get. Try not to fill the PPT with more text or content. Concise ideas and charts will help you convey the message. I just listed three different, my associate just listed three different parts whereby you could just see, just quickly, just from the grab of the eye, you could just see it quickly. Now, while the analysis may have taken you weeks, stakeholders don't really care. I'll tell you, that might be a bit harsh, but that is the truth. The boss does not want to know that you spent 2 years doing it. You actually want to know you are presenting him to something to help solve the problem. What the main thing should actually help make things better. The biggest thing here is they want to actually know that you are helping them to actually make things better. Now, whether you are delivering insights or trying to get a support for a new initiative, that information needs to make an impact. You get. The information you are passing across, the stories, the visualization must actually be able to make an impact. How would visualization make an impact? The stories that is going along with it, the report, the text that is going along with it, will actually help make an impact. Will actually help drive conversations much more better. You get. So you actually need to deliver it and package it in a very, very appealing and easy to digest. It has to be appealing. It has to be easy to digest. etc. That's specifically true if your report contains any data. Now, number one, which is numbers are important. Yes, you get numbers. Yet, too often we see reports that include data without visualization. Imagine you are seeing a report and on top of the report, you are seeing a table. You are seeing a table. You are seeing rows and columns all over again. You are seeing rows and columns all over again. That is actually a disservice to either your boss or your client. You get. Please try as much as possible to use the right visuals. A table is not a visual. I would rather that you use a multi-row cards, and multi-row cards just a few rows. Whenever you are presenting anything, rows and columns should not be in your report. I see it a lot of times. There's even a particular report I saw about a particular firm that did it, and I saw the report. The report was filled with tables, and I was like, wow. I didn't want to actually talk or get to just call them out on social media, because something I've known that once you start calling out people on social media, I'll tell you, they are most likely going to stay away from you and not even give you a business on the life. Because I work as a consultant, trying down to now start calling out people on social media, put you as I know it all. You get. So people tend to try, brands or organizations tend to stay away from that. So I see a lot of visuals during, was it sometimes last week or 2 weeks ago, they were calling out a particular brand. I try as much as possible not to do that. You get. I'd rather send the DM and tell them this and this and this is what I think could be done better. Now, next. Now, data visualization actually targets the brain. I've said this over and over again. You get. Helping people synthesize information more effectively. You get. No matter who you are in the whole world, once you see a bar chart, you will understand it. It is a global language. Once people see a donut chart, they understand it globally. You get, once people see all these charts, it carries a global appeal. No matter if you speak English, you speak French, whatever it is your language, once you see visualization, it is a global, you get, language. It also helps them retain the information and recall it later. It helps people actually retain information and then recall it later. Number three, in a world desperate for hard facts, bringing that data to life and finding the unique story that connects your readers to help you make a stronger impact for your report. You get? Now, bringing these hard facts to life is actually what will help connect your readers. You get? Because once people see the visuals and it is really clear, they tend to understand. Oh, so this is why this happened. Oh, I see. This is why that actually happened. Because if you are presenting your data to your boss or a client, does not mean the client have not seen the data or does not even have any idea. Yes, they've just got ideas, but they cannot connect those ideas together. But visualizations and reporting or storytelling and reporting and analytics, now that's why I said analytic storytelling will actually help them connect the dots. You get, actually help them connect the dots and take better decisions. It's also intimidating, yes, I'll tell you, to see that when you uncover some interesting insights in your data, you just need to follow our 5 steps. You get, once you just follow these 5 steps, it will really help you. We're going to get to the 5 steps and you will see. As it's also yes, it's also okay. Oh, sorry, that one was actually repeated again. I probably did not check it out again. You get, now when you hear about data storytelling, one of the biggest things that actually comes to people's heads or comes to people's mind is just the bar chart and the lights. But no, that is just only one. Visualizations is just only a part of it. You, as an analyst, you must be able to understand writing. You must be able to understand how to write, how to start a report, how to list all your variables, how to list your variables, how to list the independent variables, how to list the core drivers. What actually are the core drivers? What are the co-founding? Yes, the co-founding variables or the intermediate. There are so many variables I can't even remember which one again. That is actually driving the conversation. That is driving, or the factors that are actually influencing increase or decrease in particular variables. What are the factors that are increasing, e.g. for sales, for some particular businesses such as cement and the likes. When it is raining, sometimes it is bad business, or yeah, good times, a good number of times for person in cement it is bad business. Why? Building construction is hard to continue during heavy rain. During heavy rains, when it is really raining. Why? The rains will wash away the cement. So people try as much as possible to maximize the dry season. So it's actually very good that you actually state this in your report. Oh, due to this, and this is what is driving the seasons. This is what actually driving the season. I can remember during Uzo's session. Uzo is a salesperson for a regional sales head for an FMCG. You get, so Uzo was actually making an example of one of the particular products she's in charge. He says when schools are on holiday, that product does not move well. But when schools resume, it's like a boom, especially the first month when school resume, especially back to school. You get, he said parents are buying in cartons and stocking the house during the first month when school resume. But when school is already winding down towards the end of the year party, or when students are about to vacate, the products start dropping and start declining. So they can know when to expect higher sales and know when to expect lower sales. So that is just using data. Now, strong data visualization follows a compelling narrative. Now, a narrative, a guide, you get, a narrative that actually goes through the context. Because for every story, there is always what we call the big idea or the main narrative. A big idea or the main narrative, you get. So it is always very crucial that as an analyst, it's also good for you to be able to craft an effective narrative, you get, an effective narrative. And for you to craft an effective narrative, these are the main 4 steps. Number one, engage your readers with interesting titles and subtitles. It is critical that readers should actually be engaged with interesting titles and subtitles. Number two, provide context for the data. It is critical that you also provide context for the data you're actually working with. What context? I mentioned earlier the demographics, you get. create a logical flow. Create a logical flow from the first slide to the second slide to the third to the fourth and the last. A logical flow is majorly needed. Then highlight notable findings and insights in the data. That is really, really crucial. You cannot buy that anywhere. Crucial findings has to be highlighted from the data. Thank you very much, and this is the end of the slides. Please, if you have any question, this is the time to ask, either to raise your hand, unmute yourself, and then ask questions. So please ask your question. This time for you to ask questions. Mr. Abdul Karib Ojulari, you're welcome again. It's been a while I've seen this name. I remember I saw it a while ago. Barakat, you have any question? I doubt if Barakat could hear us. Mr. Sheya Kiyemi, any question? Paul, any question? Any questions so far? Abdulaziz, any question? Any question, please? This is the time for us to actually either raise your hand and I unmute you and we'll talk, or use the comment section for your questions. Daniel, you're most welcome. And Daniel, thanks for the ride. I want to say a very big thank you to Daniel. Daniel drove me straight to the island on an excursion. So far inside the island on Sunday, and also drove me back. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Wow, talking about that. Oh, yeah. I say it actually came late, but it's actually on YouTube right now. So if you just go on YouTube, search hashtag Dear Analyst. Just go on YouTube and search for hashtag Dear Analyst. Today is episode 52. So you go to YouTube. Is it 52 or 53? 52, yes. Episode 52. You go to YouTube, search episode 52, and you get it. You get live on YouTube. You get it live on YouTube. Okay, Paul, I'm coming to unmute you. Paul, and after Paul, Daniel can go ahead with this question. Yeah, Paul, go ahead. I've unmuted you.
Okay, good evening. You can hear me, right?
Good evening.
Yeah, wonderful. So
I hear you, Paul.
Last week. I said thank you for last week, the question and clarification.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
So here now, I think looking at this slide, the logical flow, yeah. I guess it actually makes sense, like when taking your clients like on a journey, like you're taking them on a journey when you're actually presenting the reports, and it has to be logical, like it has to flow logically. So sometimes like it's a challenge when you have okay, the question now is just how like what are the tips, what should actually guide you with this flow, because it's very important, like to carry them along so that they don't get lost or something. Like you might have so many insights, you might have discovered so many insights, but if you don't, like if it's not in order, at the end of the day, you might not be able to achieve what you actually want.
Thank you very much, Paul. Are you done, Paul?
That in my own
okay, so
almost done. Yeah. So like for my kind of industry now, I deal with too many.
What industry do you play in? Paul, you are breaking, you know.
Oh, done. I'm done.
You might have to, because you are breaking. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but my network is kind of.
So, what industry do you play?
Social media, like.
Okay. Good stuff. Yes. So, I'm very sure you must have been following the Big Brother Nigeria report we've been doing.
Yes.
The insights are massive, like a whole lot of insights. But we try as much as possible to limit it to 5 to 7 per day. Okay, weekends we do 7 insights, weekdays we do 5 insights. So on the weekdays, we always do something for a day view. So you see the total numbers of tweets in a day. I'm sorry I didn't create this slides. I'll try as much to add to the slide before I share. or put on YouTube, or just put a few slides again, add a few slides to this. So we do some slides that are just for a day. So when you see the slide for Sunday, you know this is what happened on Sunday. The numbers of Sundays, you get total number of tweets, total number of retweets, total number of accounts that were tweeting. You get, we do a slide for it. We do some slides for week, in which you now see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So e.g. the slides for week for Tuesday would only carry Monday and Tuesday alone. Maybe number of tweets for Monday and Tuesday. Then we do another slide for number of accounts for Monday and Tuesday. You get? Like that. Now imagine we're now doing number of tweets and number of accounts on the same slide. That is too much. You get? So when we said less is more last week, it's trying as much as possible to ensure that even if they just see just one slide alone, they can actually make a good decision. Just only one slide. That is the biggest thing in creating a logical flow. Try as much as possible just to assume that they will only see one slide. And from that slide, they should be able to actually make a decision. I hope I've been able to tackle your question properly.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Now, next person, Daniel.
All right, thanks. So my question is this: what would you recommend is for a presentation? How many slides maximum should one have? That's the first, and then
that's a hard question. Very hard question.
For a standard presentation, what should an analyst keep in mind? How many slides should you keep it as a goal? Then, if you're now given an opportunity to extend it beyond that, then. But if you're just told to present a slide, what could be a standard measure for that? And then the second question is, how can one be taught to be creative in getting their presentation slides? How can one be taught to be creative? Because you see some people and their creative slides and all that is something that you learn, I believe. So how can one learn to be creative in presenting, putting together a presentation?
That's a very tough question, I tell you. Now, so for number of slides also determine on the amount of the data and also the brief you are giving. E.g., you could be given a brief asking to show insights to this. The brief will ask you, the brief will say, tell us why people have issues with buying this particular product. So there was a particular time my team and I analyzed a data set for a bakery shop. You get? So it was actually a close description of it, or a close conversation happened on the Telegram group during the weekend. And somebody was saying, how can we actually find out the top 20 or the 20% goods, or the 20% goods that brings 80% volume or brings 80% of revenue? You get? Now, the 20% goods does not mean it's always be 5, it's always be 6, it's always be 7. The top 20% goods might actually be 12 goods, might actually be 14 goods, might actually be 15 goods. You get? So in case the brief says, show the top 20, or show the 20% goods that bring 80% revenue, and you then find out that you have got 12, you then need to present and tell them why these 12 bring in 80%. So out of that 80%, the 12, maybe number one is a loaf bread, or let me say a fruit bread, e.g. one of top 20 good, top 12 goods that brings 80% revenue is the fruit bread. So you must say that fruit bread, how many volumes is sold per day, how many volumes is sold per week, how many volumes is sold per month, the volume that is also sold per quarter, and the volume that is sold per year. So by the time you do per day volume, you should also put the amount that is sold in a day. You get? In a week, you should also be able to put the amount that is sold in a week. By the time you go into a week, you will need to show either weekdays and weekend, or the whole 7 days of the week. And when you show the whole 7 days of the week, there will definitely be spikes. Some days, fruit bread will always sell more than some other days. So it all depends on the brief and the insight you are told to show. You get to, once you get a brief and say, show this, show that, show this, show that, show this. By the time you are done showing, some slides will maybe over 30. So I'll tell you sometimes, yes, it is quite bulky. It is quite bulky, but once you tell them that, hey, it is due to my presentation or due to the brief that was given to me, that's why I have 30, 40, 50 slides. You must also try as much as possible to ready your client or to ready your boss mind that the slide is going to be quite much, but try as much as possible, as much as it is much, it is not too texty or too crowded. It's not too texty or too crowded. Now, how to be creative about slides? Go and look for different templates. Believe you me, as much as I'm a data analyst, I know where to go and look for templates. Power BI templates, this template, I'm always looking for templates. Checking out what others has done. Okay, Paul, I see you. I'll meet you very soon. Checking out what people have done. Check. Read what this person has done. Read what that person has done. By the time you have checked 4, 5, 6, 7 different, you get inspiration, and you then know actually how to then actually build your slides or build your reports. Or you can even talk to Aziz more. Aziz is my PA. You can speak to him more. I'll give you he's quite good with all the slides. But sometimes, even like today's slide, I'm very sure he's quite surprised at what I came up with after what he sent to me. Paul, go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me clearly now, Abi?
Yes. I
Okay. So regarding the question Daniel
Yes.
asked, it's very important, that second one, the creative part. Now, like, okay, I've just done some like small analysis before. So when I send them to my boss, like, she's gifted in doing reports.
Yes.
Like when I see her report, I'll be like, wow,
Wow, yes.
like, is it this thing I just did that she turned into
Yes,
this particular thing? So most times I'm always happy letting her do the report. So
Ah.
is it that I know it's important, like, for us to also learn, but I think maybe
with
if you know
time,
that,
yes.
okay,
No,
you
with
have
time.
somebody in your team
Yes.
that is gifted,
No,
that is gifted in doing the reports, or like PowerPoints. Now, some people are like awesome with PowerPoints. When it gets to PowerPoints, like, if you have that kind of person on your team, I think you can just outsource while you learn, because it's very important you have an idea of how these things work personally.
Yes, I agree with you,
just
but
like
this thing
strong
comes
suit.
with time. So most of the time, Aziz sends me PowerPoint, like he did the one for today, and was telling me this and this. I said, don't worry, just send it. And immediately he sent. I'm very sure most of the time when he just sees the PowerPoint, like, what did he send? What did I come up with? You get? What did he send? What did I come up with? I'm very sure he's always asking himself, and I tell him, don't worry, this thing comes with time. So yes, like last week Tuesday, what he sent me was what I presented. I did not touch it. I did not tweak anything. I just presented it straight away. You get? So it comes with time. This thing comes with time. It comes with practice. A whole lot of practice and practice. That is why it is a skill. You get? That's why it's a skill. Skills are not built in a day. Skills are built over time. Skills are built over time. So when people say, oh, my visualization, this, and this, and I tell them, see, I did not learn this thing in a day. I've been doing this thing for years. You get? Even doing it for years, I'm still going to look for templates. I'm still going to look for what others has done just to inspire and just to get better. Okay, by October, by God's grace, we are going to be running full-time the EPL start. You are going to see totally different types of visuals. Like, we have upgraded the visuals, we have worked on it, totally different types of visuals. You get? Totally different types of visuals. Aziz and Pelumi was in my house. Right? Was it Saturday into Sunday? Was it Saturday into Sunday or Friday? Saturday into Sunday. Yes, all Saturday. Then from Saturday we then work Saturday night into Sunday. You get? So easy for even the Big Brother Nigeria at a particular time wanted to change it, but I just feel if we change it, no, there'll be too many changes. You get? There'll just be too many. Let's just stick with one theme from the beginning to the end. But we've got a whole lot of themes on ground. Why? We are constantly researching, constantly reading, constantly ensuring that we all get better with our jobs. Any other question? In case of no question, let me say my great vote of thanks. I want to say a very big thanks to everybody for coming. I really get to enjoy it. Daniel hasn't missed this session in weeks. Paul, are you raising up your hand again?
Sorry, one
Go
question,
ahead.
like, future of work, do you still have like in-person trainings, like physical trainings? Somebody was asking me today.
Okay, so our trainings are majorly online right now. Majorly
Online,
on Zoom.
okay.
Yes, all the trainings have been on
Yeah.
Zoom. So we've actually been pushing our trainings on Zoom since November. So when the COVID thing happened, just help us just to help leverage well. So yes, on Zoom.
Okay.
Just send me a DM on Twitter.
Okay, I'll send feedback.
Thank you so much for everybody for coming. Daniel and Paul, you guys have not missed a session in the past, maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks, Thursdays and Tuesdays. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Mr. How long does it take to be a good analyst? The biggest thing is that we keep getting better and better. We keep getting better and better. You get, and there are global standards to those things. There are global standards to those things. You get, your job should actually be your report, because as a data analyst, you need to create a report that will help them take better decisions. As a data scientist, your report, your models, and everything should actually help them make predictions for the future. For analysts, decisions. For this data scientists, it's not just decisions this time around. Make predictions. Make predictions that will actually help guide the decisions you get. Make prediction that, oh, this year we are going to have this amount of rains. So because we are going to have this amount of rain, start planting, start advising the farmers to say, start planting. But for a data analyst, he will then analyze and say, okay, for this year, I cannot predict what has happened, but based on what has happened in the past year, based on all the current trends and the likes, this is the amount of seedlings you should actually put into this type of soil. This is the amount of seedlings you should put into that type of soil, expecting an harvest. But you should also then tell, we also do not know what will actually happen from the rains and the likes you get. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Feedback has been what has been actually keeping this thing going. I'm moving better and better. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who has joined. You get, everybody who has joined, and good night. Keep analyzing data, keep working on yourself, keep learning more and more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who's been here. Aziz, thanks so much. Tony did not come, but thanks to Tony in absentia and the like. Then we are planning a data analyst meetup for data analysts. We're planning meetup for data analysts. So please, we'll communicate the date to you. Thank you very much and good night.